At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Darnold from the gun. The catch made by Miller. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And an alley to run. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he's got room. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw, Darnold. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
65. Defense, let's get out the field, defense. 36.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check. Hot route. Hot.
Now a give, right side. It's Allen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check in.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And it's caught by Parker. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 1st down, it's Allen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I'm coming after you. Deuce. 21. Protein spill. 21.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Here we go.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Bears' 39-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Here's Allen. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go. Black 80. White 34. I want that. Give me that ball, defense.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. With those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
He's coming. We got double up. Wide, get wide. 6 guys.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now here's another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. To sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
59.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were a fella.
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Cohen. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this one.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 1st down, Darnold. And now here's another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you. I got you.
They stay on the ground with Allen. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Pilot, 64, weak. Watch, twitch.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Going up top for Miller. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
He doesn't give many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number is going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking that a lot of times their hands actually get beat up in the process, and it's hard for them to hold on to the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A give to Cohen. He heads right. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Let's get it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 19. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11.
Here we go. Check. Set hunt.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now third.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Strip that ball. Undercrush.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit.